You're welcome back to News Insight. This is a special edition because we have a very powerful guest in the studio. A man who has done what I don't know what I'm able to do. He was in jail for 14 good years. And is also the author of a book titled The Living Dead. Mr. Chinedu Eze, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, still with me in the studio is my colleague here, Kingsley Okemoya. You're here to tell me the meaning of that.
It just simply means you are taking my sorrow to
Who took it?
Jesus.
Oh. Is that right? It's a good one. I have this book here. Maybe I should show the audience. It's a very beautiful book, very sweet looking book. So let's get to this. Mr. Chinedu, you have this book. What was the inspiration behind this book? Before we start getting into the details.
Well, the inspiration behind this book, The Living Dead, is based on my experience. The book is actually born in the prison.
Okay.
The inspiration I received...
True life story?
Yes, true life story. So I received the inspiration of the book in the prison, and I wrote it down while in prison so that I can use it to talk to the public, the society, about life in general.
Oh, this is interesting. It's interesting. So let's just take this things a little bit by bit. I mean, you were in prison for over about 14 years thereabouts.
Yes.
What were you doing before you went to the prison?
Okay, before I went to the prison, that was 2005. I was a special driver to a certain company, but I may not mention their name because of advert. They didn't pay for the advert. So I was a driver to one company, and my assignment is a special driver to convey a vehicle to a long distance in case of those who are traveling and cannot drive to a long distance. That was my assignment with the company.
Okay. And you were working with them before?
Yes. The office is at Jabi.
Okay.
There.
Okay. And you say you were in prison for how long?
14 years. Wow. And awaiting trial.
Yeah. You know, we saw it in your book, and we just say, let's hear from you directly. Okay. And awaiting trial. At the end of the day, this awaiting trial, it has been, Kingsley, you know, we've been saying this. Yes. It's like a hole in our judiciary. Yes. For somebody to be in jail for 14 years awaiting trial. And that is supposed to be justice system. So let's get at it. So eventually, tell us about your experience in incarceration and how you were treated during this time.
I will say that I was treated unjustly. Because just as you know, 14 years is not 14 days.
Exactly.
So taking 14 years out of the life of a man, you know, like, look at me now, you know my age now. So when you take minus 14 years,
yes, honestly,
you know how young I would
you
be.
Could be,
you were. So in fact, the experience is something that I cannot exhaust talking in a day, in a sitting like this. But just to give us a brief of my experience in custody as an awaiting trial inmate. Yes. In fact, our prison system in Nigeria is not something to talk about. It's not something that you will even wish your enemy to experience.
Through,
But that is what I experienced. But I thank God that during that experience, there were things that I developed within me that helped me. Number one is finding God. That I was able to find God. That was what sustained me in that journey of misery for that 14 years.
So what offense were you accused of? Even though we end up finding out that it was that you never committed the offense, but what was it that you were accused of?
Yes, like I said earlier that I was a special driver attached to a certain company that help people to convey vehicle to a far distance. So on a certain day, a man came to the office with a police escort requesting for a far journey to the north, which after documentation with the chairman in the office, I was the one...
People are like transportation company?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay. Like car hire system or something?
It's not car hire. We don't have a cars.
Okay.
You guys had pool.
Yes,
okay.
Pool. We render services.
Okay,
we
like logistics.
Yes.
Okay.
So now a man came with a police escort to the office to register for a car that will travel to the north. That was during this Islamic festive period. And I was the one who was assigned to convey the vehicle to the Sokoto State precisely.
Yeah.
So the journey, we set out for the journey from the office. But something happened on the way. When we got to a place called Ilela, we were already in Sokoto. So, but there was a checking point there that other police people mounted checking points. So when we got to the checking points, they now intercepted us, and then they requested for the particulars of the vehicle, and the man gave them the particular. And go through it, give to this one, hand it over to this one. After all, they put heads together, come back and say, okay, where is the custom duty of the vehicle?
Yeah.
And the man got provoked. Sarausa man, he got provoked. He said, is it your duty to demand for custom duty? Are you custom?
Yeah.
And there and then, argument ensued.
Yeah.
They started arguing to the point that the policeman on checking point neglected the policeman that was the escort, and slapped
the man.
The man.
Yeah.
And the man, without hesitation, slapped back.
The police,
And then they gathered him like bees. I started beating him. In fact, it was a chaotic situation there that they now say, okay, put him in our vehicle. They took him from the vehicle that we're in, put in their vehicle, and asked me to drive and follow them to the station. So we all went to the station, thinking that it's the matter that will be settled in a jiffy.
Yeah.
But something more dramatic happened when we got to the station. And they were now, as they asked me, I showed them my ID card and my driver's license, told them who I was. And they said, okay, you stay aside. They asked the policeman, they had already had an exchange of words because of the neglect on his person with the other policemen. And from there, they called Abuja, where he was serving, and they verified from his boss, and he said he's serving under him. That was 21 Squadron, PMF then, And they now said, okay, that they are going to return us. The Oga said, return him to Abuja. He's working under me, yes. And then that's how they return us to Abuja, this first headquarters, Abuja here. And when we got to Abuja, they now separated us. Took me to Area 10, and then the man also to Area 10, the policeman, I don't know where they took him to. Yeah. And they now sent to my office. The chairman, the treasurer, and the secretary, 3 of them came to the office, and they asked them to come with the official diary where the vehicle was registered. They came with it to the office, and when they got the official diary, they now told them, okay, we will investigate. Tomorrow we will release your workers and the official diary. Don't worry, everything will be okay. And they now release them to go back to the office on bail. They went back to the office, and at night, they started beating that man again to tell them the truth that this vehicle, it doesn't have the custom duty, so therefore it's a stolen vehicle. And they beat the man fell down and died.
Wow.
They now ran to me, and they opened the cell. That was in the night. They opened the cell and brought me out. He said, look, Chinedu, you will help us to help yourself. I said, I was confused. Yeah, what help? He said, we are going to use you as a prosecuting witness. We are going to write for us, you are going to sign for us that this man, which being the other policeman, he's the one that killed the owner of the vehicle in order to do away with his vehicle. I told them I cannot take such risk. And then they told me that if I do not cooperate with them, I will regret my life. So I considered it a mere threat. I didn't know it was something big, deep like that. Yes. So at night, they now brought documents like this that I should sign. So like, I have to read through. Let me know what I'm signing. They say, I think they are joking. Like play like joke. They went and brought the other policeman and took me and policeman to a bush in the night. When we got to a bush and they brought the paper, I said, sign or their story way. I thought it was a lie, and they shot me on my foot like this to sign. So when I saw that my life, there's nobody to cry to at that time, at that environment, I signed, not knowing the contents. So early morning, They moved me. My office were still expecting me that I'm coming back that day. They moved me to court without even informing the office. We just went to court. It was in the court, as I was standing at the door, that I knew the offense, the charges against me. And they started reading that you with the policeman conspired and killed this man.
Conspire with who now?
with the police escort, yes. And killed the owner of the
The people the man you were carrying.
Yes. I started crying in the court. I told the judge, I said, no, it is not true. But our court system works somehow. So the judge said, no. Just tell me, are you guilty or not guilty? I said, I'm not guilty, my lady. He said, okay. And he just wrote, not guilty. Remind him to the prison. That was how the journey of 14 years started.
Sorry, if I may cut in a little bit.
There's a lot, yes.
This thing happened in Sokoto.
Yes.
And who drove the man's car back to Abuja?
I was the one.
With the man inside?
Yeah. No. Yeah, with the
police escort?
With the police escort.
With the other police people that was bringing you to Abuja?
Yes.
The incidents of killing happened in Abuja.
I know.
They quietly brought them back to Abuja to create that scenario from what he has said.
Yes.
So at what did they establish? Where did you now kill the man? At what point?
What happened now? The Sokoto people has already handed over and went back to Sokoto. Now it is now the Abuja people during interrogation, because they told the Sokoto people, the Abuja people, that they are suspecting
That's this man. Yes.
So did you kill the man in their custody with the police?
That is the question that we need to ask.
So now let's put it this way. Okay, how were you? Because there is a lot there.
There's a lot.
14 years of this story, there is a lot.
Yes.
How were you released? From there, we'll get to somewhere maybe much later. How were you eventually
after
released?
14 years.
Yes.
At the end of the 14 years,
Yes.
the judge said during his ruling
Yes.
that he saw nothing connecting me to the alleged offense. He hereby discharged me unacquitted.
Okay, was it the same judge?
The
then?
same judge.
He has been in the same place.
No, it has not been the
But the
same.
same.
In fact, he was growing in rank.
And the case was following.
The case was following him.
So the other police that you were accused together, was he also in cell or in jail?
Yeah, he was in jail, but he's out now.
Oh, how long was he in jail too?
He was in jail because I left him there 18 years.
More than you.
Yes, I left him there.
And he was a police officer.
He was a police officer.
So this dog eating dog.
And these cases were coming up for trial.
That's what I wanted to say. That there's a way Nigerian justice system works. From the first day that you take play as an accused person, that when they ask you, are you guilty or not guilty, you say you're not guilty. That's all you have to say.
Yes.
Then it is the duty of the prosecutor to start bringing his evidence. If it takes him 10 years to produce evidence to the court, you will not speak until he exhausts his evidence and say, I close my case. The judge will now say, okay,
come for defense.
So my own took 13 years for the prosecutor to say, okay, I have closed my case. And the judge said, come for defense. Do you know that the day I went for my defense, the judge cried. Everybody in the court were weeping.
This
Even
is
the court.
a lot.
Even me right now, there's
Kids, I think we'll probably have to go for a break, then drink water and come back. We can't talk about book again. You are a book.
And I don't think I've read this in one episode.
No. You'll be coming, but let's just go for a break. Then maybe when we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Yes, so we are still on News Insights with Mr. Chinedu Eze, the author of The Living Dead. You are going to look for the book and pick it. Maybe when we'll come back, we'll continue the discussion. Still on News Insights. We'll be right back.